There was an excitement at the Masaka High Court as Justice Victoria Nakintu Katamba granted bail to Reverend Father Deusdedit Ssekabira, who is accused of money laundering 500 million shillings between 2023 and 2025 through Centenary Bank, Masaka branch. Earlier, State Prosecutor Brian Kalinaki argued that the High Court had no jurisdiction to hear the case and asked the judge to refer Father Ssekabira back to the Chief Magistrate's Court. Kalinaki stated that the procedures used to bring Father Ssekabira before the High Court were improper.
As we talk now, we have never committed the accused person before the High Court. And actually we are waiting for him to take plea before the appropriate court, which is the Chief Magistrate's Court.
It should be recalled that during the previous court session on January 27th, the prosecution asked the judge to grant them hearing dates within the same month, assuring court that they would be ready to proceed with the case. However, the prosecution later maintained that the High Court lacked jurisdiction, arguing that Father Ssekabira had not yet taken plea. Father Ssekabira's lawyers, led by Samuel Sechewa and Alexander Luley, opposed the prosecution's submissions, arguing that the state was unprepared and was deliberately delaying the court process. On January 27th, the prosecution had informed court that it was ready to proceed with the hearing and had the necessary evidence. Justice Victoria Nakintu Katamba warned that if the prosecution failed to proceed as promised, she would consider granting bail to Father Ssekabira. In her ruling, Justice Nakintu dismissed the prosecution's arguments as lacking merit and affirmed that the High Court has jurisdiction to hear the case. She noted that the prosecution had ample time to take the matter to the lower court, but failed to do so, and agreed with the defense that the High Court was the proper forum to handle Father Ssekabira's bail application. The judge also rejected the prosecution's claim that its witnesses were not substantial, describing the argument as unconvincing. On the issue of possible interference with evidence, she ruled that there was no proof to support the allegation. Justice Nakintu ordered Father Ssekabira to pay cash bail of 15 million shillings and to present sureties bonded at 50 million shillings non-cash. She further ordered him to surrender his passport to court and to report to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on the 28th day of every month. Joseph Gonzaga Sewungu, together with relatives and friends of Father Ssekabira, welcomed the judge's decision and praised her for fairness.
However, why I'm so happy with the judge is because she has punched and looked at the loopholes of the state where they were denying bail to the priest. The High Court has unlimited jurisdiction of any matter under the Constitution of Uganda. So you could not say that you go back to the Chief Magistrate's Court where the matter should be addressed when it is before the High Court judge. Two, the issue of sureties has been a big problem. They were saying Sewu cannot be a surety for the priest because he's too much of a Catholic and you will fear reminding the priest that you are needed in court. But what comes first? Once you are bailed, they give you days of appearing before the registrar.
Just twebaza bonna abantu bonna babadde mwene ensonga n'okwebaza era omulamuzi okulaba ng'asaze mu ngeri ey'obwerufu n'obulambulukufu.
Awo nno nyongera okugumya n'okuzaamu amaanyi abasibe bonna abafaanananga Father bw'abadde abakyali mu makomera, abaawambibwa, abaasibibwa obwereere nti mwekwasa Omukama.
Father Sekabira's lawyers stated that their submission was largely based on the harsh conditions he endured following his arrest.
We filed an application in the court because from the interview we had with the priest after he had been introduced in the court, it was apparent that he had been tortured psychologically, physically and everything. So we made an application to the High Court to alleging torture. The period that he spent there in solitary confinement, we want court to determine that issue. So it was one of the reasons we applied for bail. Before court even hears the main case, before court hears this application for enforcement of human rights regarding torture, let him be released on bail. The rest we can always handle when the priest is out.
Centenary Bank is here, Masaka. So they just don't have the evidence. So the facts and the circumstances surrounding Father's prosecution stroke or persecution do not warrant any investigations that are really that hard. They don't have the evidence. You wait, you will see this. They will either bring other charges and trample them against him, or this case will die in natural course.